It's time we start talking about both Dead Island 2 and Dying Light 2 together. We like both of these zombie games. I think each one can stand as its own and offer up an experience that the other one can't. For example, one of them exists on the worst PC launcher ever imaginable. The other one does not. Both of these games, they do share some similarities and many differences. Both of them certainly do things better over the other, and that's a good thing. We want this zombie game and this zombie game to influence one another for the better. Competition is quite healthy. We need a nice little roast once in a while. I'm curious to hear, how is Dead Island 2 unique from Dying Light?
We focus on the zombies.
But today I want to take some time to discuss a few things that Dead Island 2 does better than Dying Light 2. Things that I think Techland should learn from and then reconsider how they operate certain elements within their game. This list, for the most part, isn't me saying that Techland should copy exactly what Dead Island 2 is doing. It's mainly a wish list that as a zombie fan, I want to see be implemented into a game like Dying Light or be expanded on further. To begin, let's start out with weapon repairment. Dead Island 2 currently has you going to a shop or a trader to repair your weapons for a small fee. It's a very straightforward system. It doesn't try to push the boundaries in any regard or do anything special. Now, let me explain to you how weapon repairing works in Dying Light 2. In order to properly repair your weapon and to not lose it forever, you need to climb to the top of a tower, do a puzzle involving some cables, pray that the lights turn on, and eventually you will open up a door to a developer room. In this developer room, you will get the Korek charm. This is a charm that you can apply over and over to the same weapon to as many weapons as you like, granting 500 plus durability, thereby going and repairing the weapon essentially. In short, this charm, it's an Easter egg, and that's awesome. I really have no issue with that at first, because where the issue arises is that getting this charm has become the meta. The community has become a little bit too reliant, so why not just go and take a step further and make a proper weapon repairment system in this game? In the Gut Feeling update, they made changes to the Craftmaster, made them worth visiting once again. I love seeing it. Now let's go one step further and expand their role even more. Give them the ability to repair weapons, or offer up another way where an Easter egg charm is not the end-all be-all solution. It really is upsetting to see your favorite weapons break over time, which players that aren't logging on to watch a 10+ minute YouTube tutorial or look up a guide, that's currently happening to them. But let's go and move forward. Let's talk about weapon throws. But before we do so, let's get a quick message from our sponsor. Now, before we do proceed, I have to say, this video, it's sponsored by one very special company, one that I love so much that has a super detailed and unique tactical RPG system. And that's right, you guessed it, Raid Shadow Legends. And to celebrate, we're going to be opening up some shards. The best part about it is that no matter what you get, it's going to be useful. If it's good, you get to keep it. If it's bad, you dismantle it and put it towards something you like. Let's start out with the Ancient Shard. So first up, we have, wow, look at this Gladiator. I love the design on this one. I love the helmet that he has too. Look at that right there. Going and unboxing another one, we have Prosecutor. Look at those weapons. Those weapons are definitely going to give me a competitive edge in battle, that's for sure. And doing one more right here. Oh, look at this, a Tree Feller. 226 reviews too, and overall pretty positive. This is going to come in handy in battle, that's for sure. All of these champions are going to be very helpful with the new raid Call of Arbiter being so hot right now. Raid Shadow Legends is getting a huge content update with new champions, an artifact set, events, and so much more. They even added a whole new slew of champion bios for all you lore heads out there. And starting today, you can use the link down below in the description and also scan this QR code on the screen to get playing today. If you do so, you'll get some insane bonuses such as Drake, energy refills, and XP boosters. And once you're in game, slaying your enemies away, add me, OniZombies. Again, thank you so much to Raid Shadow Legends for sponsoring this video. Let's get back to it now. Weapon throwing was a key combat move in Dying Light 1, and it was severely disappointing to not see it return in Dying Light 2. Dead Island 2 has no issue throwing whatever you like. Duplicating all your favorite weapons with all your friends is no issue. I realize that the reason behind it not existing in Dying Light 2 is to try to combat duplication glitches, but here's the thing, if players want to duplicate and exploit your game, they're just gonna keep finding new ways to do so. I may be in the minority here, but I don't think you should remove entire gameplay elements to prevent that. It was such an important combat skill that really elevated gameplay in the first one. It was actually also quite tactical too. If an enemy was nearing death, or if your weapon was low on durability and you were gonna trash it anyways, yeah, you might as well chuck that bad boy to get some extra damage in. But nope, gone, taken away from you here. But to go ahead and shift topics a little bit, there is one thing we absolutely need in Dying Light 2, and that is utilizing Fury mode. Note how I say utilizing, not adding it into the game. Fury mode is already here, it's just not being taken advantage of. Dead Island 2 really embraces the infection, while Dying Light 2 kinda treats it as a curse. The worst part is, some of the best gameplay moments is where you're forced into this infected state and you have no choice but to rip into your enemies. Some of the most intriguing plot points in Dying Light 2 happened when Aiden rips Veronica into a new one, and I really do think they should capitalize on this in future DLCs. But you're probably wondering, how can both of these exist without feeling the same? Good question. Dead Island 2 very much plays around with different character builds because of the skill card system. The different cards allows you to pick and choose what abilities you should have. Dying Light 2, on the other hand, has a traditional skill tree, and this is where imagination could run wild for Techland. And it can even go and be expanded on if the team goes and implements future PvP modes. This is one where I think to really make gameplay super refreshing to Dying Light 2, this would have to be implemented. I think the perfect opportunity to expand on Aiden's hidden infected abilities would be in DLC 2. It makes the most sense. It takes place after the epilogue, presumably outside of Villador. It works perfectly. The major advantage that Dying Light 2 holds over Dead Island 2 is that parkour. It's that movement. Players are not doing anything like that in Dead Island, and it could pair very, very nicely with Fury. I mean, there are already lots of mods to do exactly this. I just want to see full support here. And for a game that will be at least a year and a half old by the time DLC 2 comes out, this could be another really compelling way to lure fans in, especially with all the other gameplay changes to the core systems happening at the moment. In all honesty, Fury mode, that's kind of the main one. There are some small little ones that I'm going to rapid fire to you right now. Guns is a big one. The community has been demanding guns since this game was released. And as you're seeing already, many people are praising Dead Island 2 for having it. Myself, when it comes to Dying Light 2, I'm more in favor of makeshift type weapons being added in and expanded on into this game. I think that right there will work wonders for them. We also have gore, but that kind of already happened with the gut feeling update. To me, it's no coincidence to me that the update overhauling gore happens to come out the same day as the goriest game to ever exist. A little tiny one to mention too is also finishers. Dead Island 2 has a handful of finishers for all the weapons in the game, and I think maybe now is the time for Techland to bring back old E3 and old cut content finishers back into the game to make combat even more satisfying here. And lastly, call it a nitpick, but shadows. What? Call it a nitpick, call me an ungrateful asshole, doesn't matter, I've heard all of it. When it comes to the shadows in Dying Light 2, they just look goofy as hell when it comes to your character. Other characters are completely fine, I have no issue with it, but certain situations and the way Aiden looks while he's holding some weapons, it needs some improvement. When you compare it to Dead Island 2, they don't have that issue. They just don't have proper reflections in that game. However, those are just my thoughts. Thank you again to Raid for sponsoring this video. Scan this QR code right here to get playing today. And with all that said, I'll see you guys later. Bye bye.